Need that playing. I don't know why it makes that so big. Yeah, I don't need it because it's popped out, so it just does its own thing though. But hello, if anybody can hear me or us, we're live.
Good morning, and it's better to broadcast live than dead.
How do you know? You've never been dead.
Well, that's true. Well, that I remember.
That you remember. That's a good point. I hope we have some good participation today because we got some good topics.
Yes.
We do have a hard stop at 12.
Hard stop at 12. We have medical appointments.
I just hope we don't fall asleep.
Hey, Mystic. Good morning.
Hey, Manny.
Thank you for hanging last night. That was that was fun.
Yeah, I had a blast. That was fun. Even just a small group. Try to get a little bigger group. We'll try to pre-plan a little bit next time, maybe.
Yeah.
Because people were asking, and we just didn't decide until last minute.
We had Sad World and Aaron. I wish they would have got in. Good morning, Dancer.
Good morning, Dancer. I think they would have if I would have told them earlier. Because they were the ones actually asking about it.
And I'm really excited about how quick we picked up people that are interested in D&D.
Yeah, no kidding. So we had a couple of people come up to us last night, and then Nate came back and said, yeah, he talked to his friends, and everybody's a go. We just need to coordinate it now.
And then our friend at DTK, I want to get her to show me us the gathering.
I wonder if we should go there this afternoon on a ride.
That's up to you. I know you have to fly out, so I'm always down for what you want to do when you're home. I can't believe we stayed till after 1 a.m. God, it's just so easy to lose track of time.
It is. It does.
Blame it on the blame it on the kratom.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm feeling great. Trying to be more positive lately, which I want to talk about when we get started, and what we're both reading. But
just in case anybody's interested, Karl Casey at White Bat Audio is the music that's in the background if you can hear it. Lots of vaporwave and retrowave cinematic type stuff. Very cool. Free to use, copyright. As long as you recognize the creator, which is pretty cool. So they've got lots of good stuff on there. Might go back to Harknungar in a little bit too, because I miss my Herky.
Harknungar.
Yeah, his stuff's really good.
So what was it? A full moon recently, right?
New moon.
New moon. New moon. What did everybody do for the new moon?
New moon.
New moon. I'm working on a new attitude, which is good.
I got a new attitude.
New moon. It's helped me. My new attitude, I feel like.
Yeah, we're looking at full moon will be July 21st.
Ah, the 21st. That's the day we go to conference. Whoop, whoop.
Sunday. Yeah.
I hope that's not a weird week.
We'll be in Capricorn.
Ooh, shrooms and watch the wall melt. Oh, sweet.
That sounds fun.
That sounds very relaxing. And like a good experience.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do some of these workings we're going to talk about today. We're going to use moon energy and wax it up until the full moon. On the full moon, do a full ritual for binding and banishment of Trump fuckface.
Oh, yeah.
That's the plan. We're going to talk about that today, too. Dragon Dancer, are they shrooms that you picked? Like, did you put them together? Or, like, how? Like, maybe that's not a question you should answer.
Are they from the forest?
But, yeah, that's basically what I was curious.
Are they synthetics?
And is it legal to mail them? Might not be.
Can you mail them for a fee?
Even though we're recording potentially federally illegal stuff. We're just kidding, YouTube. We would never do that.
Government's an illusion anyway.
Well, I wish the illusion didn't take money out of my paycheck.
I know.
You don't have to answer that.
Are there any sovereign citizens in? I want to learn more about sovereign citizens. No, I do have some that are legal.
The Amanita. Does the Amanita, does it do Like, what does it do? Because I think that's what we had.
Is that Amanita?
We have the microdosed Amanita in a gummy. I took one and did nothing at all.
Bagula Oblongata?
It smells so good. We're burning some of the pine from the land.
Oh my god!
I put way too big a piece on accident. Finn's gonna start snarling in a minute.
Smells so good.
But that is too cool. That is too cool. We got a lot of topics today, and we have a hard stop at 12:15. I think we have to leave at 12:30.
Yeah.
For our appointment. So we are going to do tarot, but it's going to be fast tarot today, and we probably will start it a little bit earlier than we normally do. Yeah. Shh, guys, not necessary. There's nobody there.
Taki. Is that how you say that?
What?
Most of the gummies are taki. Is that how you say that?
Most of the gummies are fake.
Oh, fake? What is this? Oh, synthetic.
Fake. Yeah, the air just turned on, so it's not blowing in our face.
Microdosing, I think, is good. Beneficial.
Yeah, I would do some microdosing. Let me put a little bit of this on it to kind of mellow out that flavor. That should be better. But yeah, you know, the gummies we had, they're from a pretty good source, like a repeatable source. I think we just didn't take enough of the right ones. He said you're supposed to take 2, and it was a free sample.
I was going to say, yeah, they didn't do much for me, but maybe we didn't take enough.
I mean, they told us we're supposed to take the whole package, but I'm like, I've never done it, so I was a little weird, a little nervous.
I wasn't trying to leave the galaxy that day.
Yeah, no. Not while we're out. But I'm not against it. I mean, I've never done that. I've done other things similar to that. So, we are going to, I think, call our corners now and get moving because
Call the
I
corners.
want to get this topic going.
All right, sweet. Hear me, friends and ancestors from the east. Hear my voice carried on the air of clarity and truth. Watch over us as we cast our circle of safety and love.
See me, friends and ancestors from the south. See my flame of passion and creation seared into the energy of the universe. Watch over us as we cast our circle of limitless possibility.
Feel me, friends and ancestors from the west. Feel my love, fear, sadness, and joy washed into the waters of the rivers of compassion. Watch over us as we cast our circle of connection and motion.
Reach me, friends and ancestors from the north. Reach my feet and hands, the earth in my toes, and the work of my fingers. Watch over us as we cast our circle of earth.
Know me, friends and ancestors from the ether. Know my intent, know my heart, and know my spirit. Watch over us as we ask you all to join us in perfect love and perfect trust.
Hear, see, feel, reach, and know that the circle is safe, the circle is sacred, and the circle is cast. Morning. Morning, Kelvin. Yeah, we'll ding.
Good morning, Kelvin.
Yeah, the XE is really blowing it in our face. So we're going to give it just a minute, and then we'll get video going. I just changed something on our thing that I like better. I don't know why you guys are all so energetic today.
What's going on?
They're barking at nothing.
Nothing we can see.
Yeah, nothing we can see, I should say.
So we're unaware to know what they're barking at, except for my petite.
My petite.
Ma's being just called.
She's being cold.
Calm.
Okay, good, because cold is scary.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's a bit smoky up in here.
Woo!
I don't know what happened.
But it's no gay. Camera.
Garmer.
Back at the lens. Camera.
Love the name. So, we've got a couple of things. We're going to jump right into, I think, the first one. Oh, no, let's talk about our books, too, like we have been.
Oh, yes.
Because we have been picking up some things.
Some good stuff. Is our thing open to show them or not yet?
I can make it.
It's whenever. Do you want to go first or do you want to go second?
Go ahead and show your book.
All right.
Upside down.
Oh, let's see.
It's kind of hard to see. I can't back it up.
Okay.
Yeah, we do not have a good setup here for the camera. It just is wonky, and every time you touch it, it moves. So.
Okay. So, what we've both been reading, Thanks to Mystic, it's a book by Lori Fulford, who's a Reiki master, teacher, energy, and sound healer, called Awaken Your Energetic Superpowers. And it is so good. It really is covering the aspects of energy from metaphysical, supernatural, and scientific level. And a lot of what's in here so far really resonates. She starts off, she's going to go into the chakras, body meridians, auric field, and beyond, and how feelings and attitudes and different frequencies either make you happy, and feel well and well, or, things like on the lower level, such as depression, anger, jealousy, fear, anxiety, can cause different things in your body to occur, making you physically sick.
Yeah.
Is where I am, now, and it's really good. I mean, she talks about, aligning yourself and awakening to how to be energetically balanced for yourself. And when you do that, you can awaken in different ways. It can be due to, you're dying just over time, coming to the realization like this is not how things should be or how I should feel. And it's really good. It talks about how whatever it is, whether it's a job, attitude, people or places, can make you feel, ultimately can make you sick. And you can do all the self-care and self-help things you want, Reiki, massage, sound healing. But ultimately, at times, it may be those people, that job, or situations that you've got to get rid of.
Yeah.
So that's I'm really enjoying this book. It's an experience.
So it is a good, yeah, I agree. And basically we found it through Udemy, which is where we're taking the certification for sound healing, just to kind of get an initial learning for it.
Oh yeah, and I didn't even talk about that course. Yep.
Yeah. So the course is where we found it, and she's kind of doing the course, and we have our workbooks. We're working through that slowly, because I'm still finishing up my that metaphysical PhD that I've been working on. That's taking me forever, because it's a lot of work. But just kind of getting that metaphysic basis. But yeah, we got our tuning forks. We've got some sound bowls that we use. I'm looking for a better set.
Her own witch. Good morning.
Her own witch. Yes. Oh, that would be great. So, and we have our manual too, but this is separate from the manual. It's a kind of really energy based. It's really neat. I like her style. She's older and very just, this is how it is. If you don't get with it, then go,
Oh, thank you, Her Own Witch. I would love to see that. It's just
yeah.
It's so amazing to me to actually see the scientific part of it, the chemistry part of it, to learn and touch on that. This is real. It's not just something we're going out and rubbing on crystals, although that helps too. Yeah. But it is a real thing.
The way that she includes the science of it is very helpful which is, stuff that and can be repeatable. So it's nice to see some of that aspect. Mm-hmm. Of course, some of it's not able to be proven scientifically at some points, because that's where we are. But it is written very conversationally. It's very detail oriented. It's very clear. I think I would say it's a good for a beginner book.
Oh gosh, yeah. She really breaks the stuff down.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like that book.
Why are y'all so growly today?
I just want to get back in tune. I feel like yesterday we were talking about or experiencing something where we just feel out of tune. Maybe it was just you and I talking about work.
Last night when we got in going, though, we were completely in tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not a skeptic so much as I'm not a good fantasy imaginer. I'm Virgo in that respect. I need some visuals and some things that are tangible to really capture things sometimes. So experiencing some of these things is one of the main reasons I believe in it. Very interesting you said that, though, because that's kind of I was going to talk about next. I'm still reading The Temple of Set, Volume 1. I finished The Mysteries of Set a while back, which was by Don Webb. Michael Aquino's writing style is so much like Don Webb's other style, the Uncle Setnack's Guide. So it's completely different and so open. And he mentions Michael Aquino mentions how, I have a PhD in science. I am a science person. Did he work for NASA or something? I can't remember. I think it was NASA. It's like a NASA engineer.
It was the military also.
Definitely high in the military.
Officer.
And he's like, I am not supposed to believe any of this stuff. I am the least person that's going to believe any of it. He's like, but it happened and I experienced it, so I believe. He's like, I can't explain all of it, but what couldn't we explain 1,000 years ago? And we learned through things, and what maybe has even changed. So it's very neat. That experience is what really made a difference. And that has to be for me. Like now, that's really how I get into it now. So those are the two things I'm reading.
Well, I'm reading that, and I don't remember. I've just kind of taken over with this Energetic Superpowers book. Really, that's my main thing right now because I just find it so helpful. And I've been learning to kind of very basic, learning some chords on the piano, which has helped me in a lot of things with attitude. Oh, while we're on that book and stuff that's in there, I was just talking about it, like attitude and gratitude, and it can sound corny, but it really makes a huge difference. So what I've been trying to do, partly through therapy and like trying to focus on my ADHD, but also it's tied to just life and spiritual too. So I've really tried to be more gracious and have gratitude. So like about work, the past couple of weeks, instead of complaining, I've literally tried to list every day what I really love about my job. And let me tell you, it certainly made my days go a lot better. It's made me feel better. I've been happier, and there's just an overall better sense of well-being. And then still trying to be more in the moment. Like when I start thinking about yesterday or tomorrow or things that could or would or should happen, just checking myself, which you gave me that trick, and just saying, hey, I'm here right now. It's cloudy. I hear this music. I smell this smell. I feel this, I'm touching this, da-da-da-da. And it's really helped put me back into the now and not be so anxious.
Yeah.
Those are a couple things that kind of were tied to that book too.
Excuse me.
Ooh, Entangled Life?
Yeah, I was looking that up. Entangled Life is, I've never read that, but I see Dragon Dancer is currently reading it, and I looked it up. Probably above my pay grade at the moment.
Oh, really?
It's about fungi and plants, I'm sure.
Hard to sit for long. I feel like, yeah, some books are like that.
Again,
it's so dense, like the information is so full. Huh, interesting.
Yeah, I see. Fungus is definitely way more involved in life than we give it credit for. It is such an amazing life form, and people forget that it's not a plant, not an animal.
Well, that's
it's
crazy.
Its own thing. It's its own living thing, and it's interesting.
It's got a lot of power, then, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Small Chicken at Time book.
I'm also doing the Empowerment Manual still. I've been reading that forever, but I read about 5 pages a week. Now I'm just forcing myself to finish it. It's a very good book about group management of stuff, but it also has a lot of exercises in it that you have to kind of function through. And I've used a lot of it, so that's good.
Some of them actually think. Is that what I mean? Think, which I have found amazing. That's what I was going to ask. Do they have a consciousness? Do they communicate through like that network? That's
they
what I've heard.
absolutely communicate. That's a big thing.
Like underground, there's like they're connected and they communicate. Oh, hunt. Actively hunt. Huh.
But yes, they do think because they at least we think they do. I think.
You think they think?
I think they think they think.
We think they think?
Well, because they do utilize lots of even trees communicate though. We've learned that too, which we didn't know before. If they can communicate chemically with one another.
Oh, they can communicate, talk for hours about this.
We should do that. Like maybe we do one of our because maybe not next week, but one of the Sunday services. Why don't we bring you on and do that? Or maybe if you have a video, you want to do a video, and we can help you make one.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
Cool.
But yeah, fungus is so amazing. I still have there's some weird things happen with certain fungus. I picked one. Good morning.
Joy, good morning.
We were just talking about fungi.
Good morning, sister.
When we get a lot of fungus in the wetter seasons, I will pick a couple, and it's weird because some of them, two of the same kind of caps, and one of them will completely harden like a brick, and the other one will completely mold.
Huh.
And it's just weird how they act. So I have some crushed. I forgot how to say it. One of the M words, muscarina. Mascara, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to look up the names on it, but I have some crushed of that to use when I'm trying to do a communication ritual or open communication things, because that's one of the things they use like fungus for, is communicating, because the webs just are around the world, vaster than you can ever think.
Wow.
So, very neat.
Oh, energetic herbalism. Learn medical herbalism along with communication.
Oh, that is cool.
To the science, sweet.
I've got a book, Herbalism for Witches, I want to read, but I gotta finish a couple other things first.
Witches work only with magic.
Everybody needs all the books. I'm just saying. We had to buy a whole nother 2 cases to put up books because we have so many to read yet.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So like I said, we're going to try to do some tarot today, but we have a hard stop. So I wanted to bring up our main topic. Now I've got hiccups as I'm trying to talk. If you were able to see in the description, our main topic is to start off about, and I'm gonna mute this music for a minute just because this topic is important. And I'd love we have a Poison Path book too, I think. That
I got so
you got.
many books Poison Path. Oh yeah, that'd be neat.
We have a couple that are specifically about the Poison Path.
One that Dragon recommended that I haven't got to read yet. Couple actually.
Yeah. We probably have about 50 books that we're on the to read list in a box.
If I retired today, I would be able to read for probably, what do you think?
10 years.
10 years?
Yep.
Yeah. Which is great stuff.
So I wanted to talk this morning about Project 2025 because there was a ritual that was shared. I did share it in the Discord from a friend in another group that allowed to share it, but it was a ritual for liberty. Let me see if I remember what he called it. Because we're back in that time period again where we're ready to do all these other things. A ritual to protect liberty and freedom is what it's called. So you can check that out in the Pagan Circle Gathering section if you're interested. I'm going to try to work through it. I just have to find a Lady Liberty.
Ooh, a Lady Liberty, like a mini statue?
Now I have
one.
Yeah, I have some thoughts on that. Like we can use coins and things, something with liberty on it. I think I have some liberty coins. If we can't find a little statue. But there's that, and so before we get that, I don't know if you don't know what Project 2025 is, I did want to give a little quick blurb about it. And basically, it's part of the Heritage Foundation, which is a conservative group think tank that's pretty far over.
Ooh, print a pic. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. One in the Grove at you. That's good. Yeah. I wanted, yeah, we can do a picture too for sure. While we're out though, I'm gonna look for one just because I'd like to have something tangible because I'm gonna take it with me and do it while I'm on the road too. Pictures are always a good thing though. But so planning, basically, the whole thing is a really big head start on planning for who the conservatives will put up if Trump were to win, about top advisors, creating policies ahead of time so that basically they can direct how everything is going to go, focusing on what to change in the first 180 days to give a lot more power to the president, which will then kind of consolidate some things and make a lot of really big changes. Basically, a lot of
their operations plan.
Yeah, it's an operations plan, and what's really great about it, yes, I said great, is that good for them. They have learned from their mistakes. The left has not. We have not learned. I say we loosely because I'm not specifically left, but that we have not learned our lesson on how to do this. So there is no real long-acting plan, right? And there's just that, Dragon Dancer. That's the one thing I thought too. I was reading all this, like, is all this just hyperbole? Because even Trump said, and I actually believe him. It's like, I have no clue what they're doing. Good luck to them. I don't agree with some of the things they said, but good luck to them. And I thought, I actually believe him on that one.
It's just, to me, the sad thing about all of it is there's so many great minds, conservative and liberal and in the middle. Like, what? That we're at this point where we have two geezers.
The turd and douche turd sandwich and giant douche.
What both of them need to be doing nothing more than playing golf. I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
But that's not where we are. But it's a shame we haven't tapped into the really good talent and thinking and minds of the younger, generation of conservatives and liberals and in between. That, I think that's the saddest thing to me is I feel like we're, in both cases, delaying our progress as a race, as a country.
Yeah.
By picking,
but it's really sad. Like they've done a great job. They have a plan. They have been working on this plan since before Trump even was nominated. I guess he was nominated.
Yeah, I have no idea. Was he really nominated, or is this just?
But they're working on, like, that's a pronged approach. Like, this approach has what to do in the first 180 days, what laws to change so that the president can do more with executive power, how to change the Justice Department so that they can get more things approved conservatively, how to get rid of the lawyers who disagree with them, and they're vetting all the people ahead of time that they want to use. And if they're doing all this stuff, like, good on them for being so freaking organized. And
that's
shit
what
on
you do.
us.
That's what you do.
Preparing.
Yeah.
What can you say? Now, I am not a Democrat. I am a libertarian, and I really believe that process, and I believe in the libertarian potential candidates. But I cannot faithfully vote libertarian in this next election. It has to. I'm definitely voting Democrat, even though it's not the choice I would want.
He did it. Trump has already showed us what he's going to do. Last time, how he snuck that Supreme Court justice in to unify on the abortion thing, like that real conservative lady. I don't know or care for her name.
Amy Coney Barrett, I think it was.
But he's a good. What's the word? He glamours.
He's a glamour. Yeah.
He told people, "Oh, I'm not going to try to change that," and then he snuck her in, knowing what she would do.
Yeah.
I think that's just horrible.
The one thing that I think will be good about Trump is that he will not follow the conservative plan, I don't think. Now, they're going to follow it around him, which is exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to try really hard to vote as much as I can locally and work on, getting libertarian people in to the local government, but nationally it's just not a viable option yet.
I mean, when they're just at that level in the career and life where, like, people just don't care about the people they represent and they're on old agendas, that's a shame.
I cannot breathe with Tina Lane.
At least the younger people, aren't disillusioned yet. They really want to do, I think, what they think is right.
Yeah, so Project 2025 is very clearly anti-abortion, anti-LGBTQIA, hyper-conservative, Christian nationalist focused, fealty at all costs, which is something that, is very, that's the worst thing is, would you be loyal to Trump, yes or no? And if it's a no, then they don't even consider him, they're moving on. And I've heard a couple of people in some of the things that I watch call it, it's like, it's not even a plan, it's a manifesto. which is again very unfortunate. So I agree, Len. You believe what he says, because the one thing about Trump I will give him, though, and our positive, is that again he's not going to do what people tell him to do.
Probably the opposite.
He probably will do the opposite, and we know at heart, regardless of what he's done, he's not really a conservative.
Yeah.
So he's pissed off at liberal or the left and liberals because they took a lot of his money and bitched him out of New York. So. But, all in all, it is what it is.
I would like to know if is he the nominee, or what is it? Is he a hopeful? I mean,
he has to be the nominee by now.
Do the people hope?
We have not been watching any TV. Everything we've been catching up on is like,
oh, thank God. I've stopped watching news since when? Probably 2020 somewhere?
Yeah.
2022?
Yeah, a little bit out, probably in the middle of all that. We're getting ready to get rid of cable and everything. We just have no use for it. Yeah. But I haven't been watching the news either.
He will. I agree with that. He will lash out in revenge. For sure.
Absolutely. So
which again has no place being a president.
We do. Yes, definitely live in dangerous times. And yeah, but it's not him that I'm worried about. It's just once there is somebody in power that can be managed and controlled, that's where I get worried. But I don't know that he's going to do what they want him to do. But
it's our representatives, really.
It's a terrible choice regardless.
Got to worry about, yeah.
Giant douche and turd sandwich. I mean, who's going to win? Both. So what do you do about that, right? What do you do about that? So again, I think I mentioned it earlier. We posted a ritual that was shared from another group about liberty and protecting liberty in America. But also somebody had mentioned this last night, and I just wanted to show this out too. So let's see if you can put this on there.
Ooh.
This is a book we've had for a while. Actually, we got this, I think, right when it first came out.
Oh.
It's called Magic for the Resistance. I don't know why you can't just follow instructions. I love you, but we need to move the blue over. Right there. I need his name in there. So you should be able to see who that is. Magic for the Resistance by Michael Hughes. Wonderful book. We've had this for a while. I think we got it when it first came out. Agree, Lynn. That is absolutely the where we're coming from too. Both are unfit, but yeah, we don't really have a choice. And plus, I think libertarians are more effective at utilizing both sides than anybody. So local government, I'm focusing on the libertarian movement, and then national government we focus on. I was a Democrat for a while because I certainly can't see what the conservatives are doing. And the problem is people are going to follow it anyway, but whatever. So in this book, there's a really great, you can hand it back to me now, a really great ritual that I wanted to share.
Ooh, when did you get this? I'd like to get this. Read it.
I got it, I think, when...
That's awesome. Looks awesome.
I think it was when we did something in 2020.
I mean, this is the time for me. I should be reading that probably along with this.
Yeah. We got it in 2020. When I think we did I think it was the Rainbow Ritual. I remember Joy and Gordon and I think Heather was there. We did it all remotely. I was in Delaware at the time, again, years later. And then you were here and people were kind of all over. And that was one that we did. So that's also a great option. The one in here is actually specifically to bind Trump. It's a spell to bind Donald Trump and all those who abet him.
Oh, yes.
So it's done on a waning crescent moon. The first one was done February 24th. And this is something that a lot of people have been doing. So done on a waning crescent moon until he's removed from office. So right now we are in waxing. So it'd be after the full moon.
You can't think of me. No.
It'd basically be like the days leading up to a new moon. And they do it at midnight, but it doesn't have to be. And it can be modified for your specific practice. That's the other thing that's good about this is there's a lot of rituals in it, and it can be adjusted out. So Unflattering photo of Trump, the Tower Tarot card, tiny stub of an orange candle. I love this. This is great images. A pin or a small nail to inscribe the candle, a white candle of any size for fire, water bowl for water, salt bowl for earth, and a feather for air, matches, and an ashtray or sand dish. And then you use other things like black threads for traditional binding, which is you'd tie that around the picture or the candle. And then there's a really neat ritual and chant to go with it. And one of the things that's part of it is you're fired, which I think I love the intention and imagery behind that. You're fired. Oh yeah,
that is cool. Dragon, that would be neat.
Michael Hughes. We're gonna have to look that up because I'm very interested in that.
Again, it takes me back to like, where are the people with honor? Because I can think of several conservatives that serve with honor. You know, John McCain, Kay Bailey Hutchison from Texas, Condoleezza Rice, Colin Powell. Like, it's a shame that on both sides, where are the people of honor and good intent, integrity?
Is it just the Michael M. Hughes?
Hey, Tabby.
There it is, Project 2025. Ending no-fault divorce. Complete ban on abortion, no exception. Banning contraceptives. Additional tax break for corporations, high tax. Elimination of unions. Raising the retirement, cutting Social Security and Medicare. Affordable Care Act ending. I could go on and read it, but I know some of this is hyperbole. I mean, some of it. Yeah, that's very interesting. So I'm gonna, if I want to know, well, I'll ask separately if it's okay to share the rainbow ritual because it's really good. It's just not mine, so I don't want to share it without permission in the Discord. But I did share the one that came from the Witchcraft and Men group, which I was given permission to share. It's a really good one for general liberty. And then this one in the book is great. I might type it up and send it. But definitely we'll be working that in the waning days. In the waxing days, I might do the liberty one because you're increasing protection for liberty. And in the waning days, you know, you can do the fire Trump out of the thing. But then I wonder if Trump is not around, who would they pick, and would that be even worse? Like, who would be his running mate? Yeah, we should figure that out. Does anybody know who his running mate is?
Does anybody know if he's the nominee? I mean, we're all basically at this point conjecture, assuming. I mean, from my standpoint.
Oh, I'm so jealous about Fantasy Fest.
About what?
Fantasy Fest for Mystic Manny. That's exciting. But yes. This is a great book. We used some rituals in it, even without knowing it, from back in 2020, 2021 before. But so it's good. Yeah, let me know and put it in the Discord. More than happy to. But Magic for the Resistance, Michael M. Hughes, is a really good one. So you guys should recognize that. Yeah, you know what? He absolutely would. That would be probably the worst case scenario, and I bet you he would do it. After all that's happened, he'd probably do it.
And let me say something on that, because I try to be any more purple as all get out. I take the good and recognize the good in people, even if overall I think they're crappy. Mm-hmm. So let me tell you who's a douche on my industry, and that's Joe Biden. I am sick of that asshole attacking, restricting, increasing the level of difficulty it is to operate care for our elderly in this country.
Yep.
And oddly enough, I hate everything else mostly, but you know who's supported us in Florida is Ron DeSantis. He has got us funding for our nursing homes and has really, really tried to help us to operate in that level. So on that topic, I'm very passionate and just really resent Joe Biden for his constant attacks on our industry and the people that are trying to make a change for our elderly, our most vulnerable population. And Governor DeSantis, that is the one thing I will thank you for, securing more Medicaid funding for our elderly.
Yeah, the problem with that whole thing is everybody's trying to regulate nursing homes by staffing numbers and stuff like that. The problem is quality of employees, quality of staff, quality of leadership. That's where the issue is. It's nothing to do with how many nurses you have and how many well, something, but not much. It's all about the quality of the people that you're allowed to work with and the reimbursement rate.
So I invite Joe Biden to come stay in a nursing home of what he's restricted to the level that he has and see what he thinks and how good his plans are.
As the leader, I'll say it's your fault.
But he's the leader ultimately that's making the changes that are crippling the industry.
That he has dementia.
That's why I think he needs to go into a nursing home the way that he wants it ran, and with what he wants it ran, and the funding he wants it ran, and see how he likes it. Probably wouldn't.
It's so depressing. But I think what's really important is that this really isn't about Trump. It isn't about Biden. It is we have terrible choices, and things will get worse regardless of who it is. Mm-hmm. But they will get much worse with the conservative plan. Now, there is a lot of hyperbole and all this stuff too. Like I said, in this Project 2025, it's a big deal, but it is a niche, thankfully. So that's really the problem. Yeah, the problem is 2025 for sure.
I mean,
I don't know. It's frustrating. All we can do is, look at how we're working things and the magic that we do and being engaged and like Joy mentioned multiple times, community and how we're engaging each other and having conversations. It's interesting, how many people don't realize the difference between, being cordial and being supportive. And that's one of the things that I have a lot of trouble with. Like when somebody says, don't throw LGBTQ down my throat, I'm like, well, nobody's throwing it down your throat. The only reason it's a problem is because you won't let us do what normal people would do. If you started not being a bitch about shit, we wouldn't have brought it up in the first place. Right? Like people say, I'd like to get to a world where you don't need pride. That would be great. The Supreme Court is where I worry the most with Trump in.
Yeah, that's how he got the abortion thing done, by sliding that Amy in. Meanwhile, telling people he was not going to try to affect abortion law. They're doing the opposite.
Yep. And
well played, Trump.
Sometimes I don't think he even played that. I think he got lucky. But yeah, I am very, very nervous about that, Lynn, about the Supreme Court and how all that's going to work. I was just watching somebody else the other day on a YouTube video, and it was basically a Palestinian saying, thank you. The LGBTQ group has been very helpful to us in Palestine on our cause. He's like, but you can't be our ally if you expect us to support your cause, because you ask anybody in Palestine, they do not agree with what you're doing in life. I'm like, okay, well then fuck you and fuck Palestine then. Excuse my French. But you know what? I'm not going to support somebody to be free if they're not going to support me to be free. That is a quid pro quo. And he's like, it's not a quid. Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to support you if you wish me dead. Sorry. Doesn't work that way.
I like what...
Sorry if anybody feels differently on that. I don't know a lot about the Palestine, Gaza, all that stuff. I know what I think is the right thing, but then saying that and then hearing somebody like that's very high up say back, don't expect us to agree with you because you're wrong. It's kind of like, fuck you. And literally he said, we don't want your help then if that's what you need from us is to support you.
No problem.
No problem. Okay. Find another piece of land. It just made me mad that and again, that's one person saying that, but he's right. Most of the people wouldn't agree with it. It's the same thing with this conservative stuff. We can go out and what I see in general is that most conservatives have no problem with me at all. Yet they secretly support the situation that allows them to be that way, which is hurtful to my life and to children and all kinds of people. It's just terrifying.
I like what her own witch said. I hate having to vote for less smelly shit. That's true.
Yeah.
That's frustrating. Yeah. I think you're right. What you said last night, like you and I probably really won't be affected, but it's the younger people with the books being banned and the Target and raising that attitude of hate, for kids in school and young adults.
Yeah, that to me is definitely where the biggest issue is going to be in our lifetime. It's affecting the next group. It's not going to affect me and you as much, at least not from the social perspective, because I think enough people in the world just really don't give a fuck.
They really don't.
We make it a big issue in the U.S. because it's a big issue because of Christian nationalism. That's really what that is, and that really is the fight. What the fight is about is the Christian nationalism. That to me is the real what do you call it, enemy, so to speak. Have your beliefs, but not how we will process those beliefs. And yes, Joy, we absolutely will all be affected. Our point is our lives are not in danger. That's what we were talking about. Our lives, me and Brad specifically, our lives will not likely be in danger because of changes with Trump. Even if they were to, quote, annul our marriage, right? Our lives, our livelihood, our safety will probably not be affected as much as kids who can't read banned books, families who have transgendered children, families who have people who are, who wish to get an abortion. I don't care the reason. That's not my business, right? But that's the thing. We'll all be affected, but we're not affected. Again, we being just us two in our conversation last night, we're not directly affected in a way that scares our life. But that's what's scary. And yes, absolutely agree with that. We'll be affected. And Lynn, so angry. That makes no sense to me at all. At all. I don't understand why it's so hard to realize that you can't teach the Bible in school, but you can't teach other things. Like if you teach one, it makes zero sense. Zero sense. I do not understand how the brains in those two states come to think that that's a okay thing to do. Like, it just makes no sense. Yeah. Yes, Heroin Witch, absolutely, and that's what's scary. I just wish that wasn't the case. I got so lucky. Like, when I went to high school in the late 90s, I got so lucky with teachers that just really were interested in us succeeding as people, as good people, and they really focused on that. And I will always be forever thankful to my Latin and English teacher, Miss Deb Brooks, because she held our feet to the fire, but when it was appropriate, she let us talk about current events and things that really mattered, and helped us through some of those significant issues in the late 90s. Yeah. Yep. Heroin Witch, everything you're saying is exactly why I think it's important to have this conversation today, and to have rituals, if we so choose to do so, to kind of get ourselves in the right mindset for that, because I know that I'm not going to be able to necessarily change this on a big scale, but what I do want to do is make sure that families and children and people around me recognize me as a tolerant, safe person to go to if something happens. That's the best we can do, I think, is in our local, our tribe pockets, right? Where we go to the Kava bar almost every day when we're here. Anybody in that building, I can almost guarantee you what they recognize about us is that we're just extremely friendly and kind. And if they're having a bad day, they come up and talk to us. That's it. That's our local communities and groups. That is where we're going to be able to make the impacts. Despite what happens, we still should try to make impacts on a larger scale and have those things. But that's what I think is really going to be our thing. And it just makes me mad. And hello, Unexplained Possibilities.
Morning, Unexplained.
We have
Welcome.
2 career manifestors in the house today.
Yeah.
Dragon Dancer and Toe and Unexplained. You guys manifest what you do. This is Pinion Pine, by the way. Smells sweet,
good.
doesn't it? So, Unexplained, we've been talking about Project 2025 and some things that can magically help, like rituals that we've been sharing. I did want to talk a little bit about activism. I'm not good at activism. I'm just not. It's not been a very high need thing. but I can be, and it's probably a little bit of personality issues too, like what I'm comfortable with doing, which has also changed as I've gotten older. Ma, if you keep backing up when I go down to pick you up, I can't pick you up. Oh, scrumpet. You're scrumpet. These dogs. But yeah, as I do more and more, that's like, at the Pride event, the reason I really wanted to go there isn't to see all the stuff.
Maeve,
Good morning.
welcome.
What I really wanted to do was just make sure that people were there seeing that older people, because I am older now, we're middle-aged, that we are there to
We're middle-aged. Yep.
support the kids that were there. And kind of, it's just frustrating. It's so frustrating.
I think another area we've got to protect our young people is, even with us, is the cost to get an education is horrendous. I can't even imagine what it'll be like in 5 years. When we went to school, we both stopped going to school professionally, 2018, I think. For me, I finished my master's
in 2017.
So around that time, and just our student loans and the cost is horrendous. I can't imagine what it's like even now. People going to school, and then in 5 or 10 years.
If I somehow lose my job, I will not be able to pay my student loans. And in Florida, if you don't pay them, you lose your license.
Lose your professional license.
So I wouldn't be able to work to pay it anyway.
So we couldn't work anyway. It's like, I think that these kind of things are some of the important issues that needs to be a focus, not restrictions, but how do we make it better? And I don't know the answer.
Well,
there's
from what I can gather, the best ways are to, again, being active in our local communities, having support systems and people know you, having the discussions, doing what Joy's talking about with UU, and getting the community network engaged, which is really smart. Planned Parenthood, I would be interested. Granted, I'm always freaking out of town now with work, but I'd be
love the Planned Parenthood thing.
Yeah, I'd be interested in supporting Planned Parenthood and stuff like that. I think those are the things that matter. And yes, or in which if you don't pay, they can take your license. Now they've not been actively doing it, I don't think, but it will tell you that when you go to pay your loans. It's very scary. So
yeah, it's scary stuff.
That community connection is really where it all lies. That's where we have our power. So if you're interested, learn a little bit more about Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation. It is probably the biggest evil manifesto. This to me is almost worse than any. I'm not going to make that comparison because it's not appropriate. Let me retract that. But
Root.
It's completely probably the biggest work of evil that's available right now at the moment. That's new that we need to be concerned with. Love you all back. So that's important. Very important. Anything else you want to say on that? Because the only other topic before we do tarot is crystal grids.
No, I think I've said what...
Monstrous, definitely.
Monstrous. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say, and then while doing it, I think it's important to ground, shield, protect, and keep our frequencies, like do it from a higher level, because in years past, especially election years, I've let it consume me so much to where it was really personally affecting my life. Like this stuff bothered me, often and daily, and I think only doing what we can do and not allowing it to suck our energy out while doing it.
Yeah.
Because that does no good. That just adds energy to what we're, against, so to say, right?
Yeah. Not in a positive manner either, which is really sad. So I wanted to mention crystal grids a little bit. You're not going to be able to see ours because it's at the very end of the table.
Ooh, crystal grids.
I was really hoping I could get it. I can open our field of view a little bit. You can see at the very bottom, the top of it. It's not finished, but it's initiated. And we're using. I wonder. Oh, I can. I hope the floor is clean enough.
There you go.
So you guys can see the starting of our crystal grid. I have not placed the center stones yet, but we have a nice large quartz cluster that focuses in very many different directions because I want that focus to go all over the world, not just in one place.
I really love those.
But it will
orbs.
help focus. And then we have our orbs. We've got a lapis lazuli. I've got 2 jaspers, a golden jasper, and then the one with the glass and carnelian at the bottom, the Kambaba jasper at the top.
So pretty.
You can see some. We have our Shiva lingams. We have 2 sets of those set there. Those are really for time. Things that go over time. And if you want things to last long, Shiva lingam's good for that. And then I've got 4 sets of micro stones that we're going to use and start curving in and building this grid out inside here. Also have a green aventurine bowl and a selenite knife that is set to be kind of like the masculine and feminine energy balance. You can't see, it's just right off the corner. So crystal grids, in my opinion, are a really great way to kind of get some energy, focus, and utilize from all over the place to kind of put energy in and move energy around inside of these things. So
Hey,
running. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. Ooh, oh, yeah. And we have a lot of stuff in this room, unfortunately. You can't see it, but we have 7 altars in this room. One for each direction, a center, and then we have an ancestor and a satanic, or a left-hand path, really more than satanic altar. So it's just very messy right now. We're still working on that.
We gotta get organized.
We're more organized. We reorganized some of our herbs and stuff, which was helpful. But
herbs.
But yes, so we're going to do our grid here. And what I would really like to do, Joy, Runnin, and anybody else, if you do, and Dragon, you guys get a grid together. I would like us to do some type of ritual at some point to connect them. And so that they're all connected in these different places. And then I'm actually taking a little handful of micro crystals with me, and I call them marbles, but they're little tiny spheres that I've gathered over the years. And I'm going to take them with me and set up a grid in Delaware as I'm going around, and I'm going to connect mine with sigils, but we can do it however we want. But I would like to do that soon because we're going to finish our grid today, and then you guys are able to let me know, and I'd like to do that. And we have 2 rocks from that you gave us running that are on it.
Thank you, yeah.
And then I have the tri-layer chicken biscuit rock to connect to Texas, and then we have our kava rock, the white kava rock, the granite stone. We have our graveyard dirt there too that we can use in some of it, but that's separate. But anyway, I love that.
Dragon eggs. Ooh.
I have some septarian and some autumn obsidian that we can use to put in as well.
Linking grids. I like that.
I definitely want to link grids, but we just have to find a time. I know you can do it asynchronously, like we can all do it separately and kind of put them together, but I'd like us, if we can, for all of us to get together like we did before, and maybe just whether it's on the phone or Discord or whatever, and just kind of connect them all and get them going. And then I'll be putting up and taking down mine with me as I go out of town tomorrow. So that's really the plan on grids. And you can use grids if you want. I just really like the way that crystal grids make me feel as you're putting them together. As you're putting the flow energy together and putting them on there, you will know how it makes you feel, and you will start moving stuff around and saying, oh, I don't like this, I need this here. And it rotates itself and puts itself together. And then utilizing it in visualization when you're doing like the rituals we're talking about, very helpful to organize and send that energy out of what it is we're all about. So it's a great way to do whatchamacallit. Intention.
Which I think Arizona is such a beautiful and powerful place.
I need to figure
Mexico
out
and Montana.
Running. I need to figure out which ones are the Oklahoma rocks, because I can't remember. I get them backwards. So we'll have to clarify that. Clarify that. But yeah, that's our plan. So crystal grids, I love them. That's been so much fun. And it's really nice.
Ooh, Pacific Northwest energy. Yeah. Sacred and protected by tribes. Selenite.
And yeah, we can certainly do it from here. Maybe next weekend. If everybody's up for it, anybody who wants to physically come, we can set something up for next Saturday because we don't have show Sunday. Or we can do Sunday too. But we'll figure that out. That's true too. That's what, the 21st, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
that's.
I think it's awesome. The 21st.
21st.
Yeah, July 21st. So, I mean, that's what, 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks away. Now we will be going out of town for that one too. We'll be gone. Ooh, I don't have that one. All right.
I can't do next week work, so
yeah, it's a Sunday. We can do a Sunday.
Have to.
I'm certainly fine with that.
Can't do the 21st.
But we can't do the 21st. So.
Oh, new ink. That's awesome. I'd like to manifest some new ink.
We're going to a conference, so we won't be here the 21st. So, next Sunday would probably be the only really good day for us, and it can certainly be late in the day.
Cups coffee service
after
Sunday
coffee.
Coming.
Well, we might come up to that and have coffee.
That might be good with the land there.
Well, I'll bring tea. I can't drink coffee.
Yeah, I mean from the land. Yeah, that's what I agree. Might be good to connect there.
Yeah,
at the UU. Absolutely
can
join them.
Maybe that's the better choice. Running if you're a game with that and her own witch. Maybe we do UU after coffee service and just stick around afterwards and do some ritual there. I will. I don't have to be at my crystal grid to activate it. Well, it'll already be activated, but I don't need to be at the crystal grid to connect it if we're out at the land. I'll just bring a piece of stone from it and bring it back. So yeah, let's do next Sunday. Right after coffee service. So maybe we'll come up for coffee service and help. It's been a while.
We need to help. Yeah.
And we'll bring something because it's been a while. We'll come up and do that, and then we can do it afterwards. Sounds like a plan. I'll bring my green aventurine bowl and my selenite knife because those are the two masculine feminine separations that I have on the thing. So I thought that was really neat. So in speaking of time, we've only got like 15 to 20 minutes to do tarot. Oh yeah, and I can bring my micro crystals too, Joy, for that. I have the little teeny ones. I'd be more than happy to help with that. And bring some others. But we're going to go ahead and do tarot. So, guys, we may only be pulling one card for you or maybe even two. Who knows, depending on how fast we need to go. But we got Kelvin up front.
Yeah, we'll have to go pretty quickly for sure.
Dragon. Can you take her? She can sit in your lap.
Maybe.
I love her, but I need my arm.
He loves you.
My arm falls asleep.
He loves you, my potato.
Dragon, Running, Tabby, Joy,
baby.
Maeve.
You're my baby.
Maeve Thel. I don't know. Is that the right pronunciation? I've never asked. Like,
you're my baby.
How do you pronounce your name? As long as we've been chatting, that's something I've never asked.
Hey, baby.
Read
Read me.
me.
The library is open.
The library is open for business. So, yeah, we're going to get started on that. I need to... What did I want to do here? Oh, I need... here, we're going to transition to our tarot.
I don't correct often. Tell me... What? Oh, wait.
Yeah, I just, always curious.
Yeah, how do we say it, though? I'd like to know, too.
All right, Manny, thank you for stopping in. Thanks for playing last night.
Enjoy.
Y'all missed a fun game of online Cards Against Humanity last night with a great group. You should consider it. We might start doing that every so often when we're at the place. Because it was fun.
Enjoy your the event, Manny.
Yes. Fantasy Fest.
Yeah. Hey, Ma, you blessing the cards? Ma Petite likes the Morgan Greers. Oh, she likes yours too.
She licked it.
You want to bless them?
She licked the fool.
Thank you, Ma. She's blessing them.
She's so precious. I love that dog. I love all of them.
La Petite.
All right, so far, we have Kelvin, Dragon, Runnin, Tabby, Joy, and Maeve.
All right, we need to...
We're going to start with Kelvin.
All right,
if
let's
anybody else would like a
see.
reading or if I missed anybody, just let me know.
Elvin.
Runnin. Kelvin. All right, Kelvin's up. Let me refocus.
Blessed be Lynn. Thank you for
Blessed
stopping
be Lynn.
by.
Thank you. You know I want to go to Kava after our medical appointment.
Yes. And should you want, we should take our things and go.
We shall.
We shall.
All right, Kelvin. Let me pull a card for you and see what we've got today. All right, we've got the Knight of Wands.
Ooh, that's a pretty card.
Yeah, this is the Corrupted Tarot. Really pretty tarot deck by Wormwood. Hopefully you can see that. So this, did I say Knight of Wands? I think.
It is. Yep.
Okay, good. So we've got some energy for you. Her own witch. Good. Okay, we'll make sure you're on there too. Let me add that before I forget. So our Knight of Wands is, again, courts from your people. So this is recognizing the fiery energy in you. Kelvin, that is creating and moving things forward. I actually kind of remember a little bit about what we talked about last week. And there's this movement towards an energy for you that's still continuing to create and positively move things in a direction that matters or that's needed for you. So keep kind of working on that whole process of what you're doing and what you're working through in forward motion, as slow as it is. But also recognize that in your life, there's somebody who's going to be present that's kind of helping you through or pushing you through this fiery possibility, this fiery movement. And make sure that you're listening to them and following through with what they're actually saying. So it's going to be very important to kind of really, I don't want to say hyper-focus, but really hyper-focus on that positive movement. Yeah, take that energy. James, we might be able to. We have a hard stop today. We're running kind of behind.
So we'll keep it moving.
So we'll see if we can get there.
All right, Mr. Kelvin. And I drew, well, I don't know if you can see it. How can you not see both? That's weird. Okay. Anyway, I drew the Death card, and this is telling me right away it's an idea. An idea is something that doesn't resonate with you, something that you've been thinking about for a while. You just need to put it to rest and move on this week. It's not worth any more of your energy. This person, place, thing, idea, you just got to move on. You know, it doesn't resonate with you. It's not for you. Put it aside and go forward with something else.
Yeah. So there's some.
I hope that makes sense.
There's some mixing energy in there. That King of Wands is really kind of looking out for somebody else. This might be a caregiver or somebody that's kind of focused on spending some time with you too. So that kind of goes with it.
Put it on Dragon.
Dragon Dancer.
You okay, Miss Ma Petite?
Five of Pentacles for Dragon Dancer. So we're back in that fives. You know, fives, again, they're not the greatest place to be sometimes. They're right smack in the middle. Sometimes there's some overwhelmingness of that. But within the Pentacles, there's this stuck in mud kind of feeling with the Five of Pentacles. If you look at the 3 and the 4, which bring like this stability in this new project, and then the 8 and the 9, which are like your masterworks and your great completions and finishings, then the 5 is kind of like, oh my God, there's too much going on. I need to take a break. There's a lot is happening. I hope I'm not picking too much or overwhelming myself, so I might need to slow down a little bit. So just keep in mind when you're looking at the 5 of Pentacles, there's often a feeling of stuckedness or not being able to think forward in the project that you're working in. So just give yourself a little bit of grace. It doesn't even say that you need to change anything or move anything, which is great. It's just you recognize it, be okay with it, know that it's fine. You're going to be fine. It's going to work through, but it's kind of like I've got so much to do in here, and it's just so much all of a sudden, but it'll be fine. Pentacles are always ending up in stable cards, even if they kind of hurt or sting a little bit, but it may want you, depending on what Rook pulls, to maybe pick 1 or 2 things to kind of pause for a minute so that you can get the other things that are really meaningful to you done first.
All right, and I pulled, you see it, yep, the 5 of Rods, a lot of passion, a lot of competing priorities going on. You, others, and it's just, passion is not a bad thing. I mean, this is not a feeling of being defeated. Don't be overwhelmed. It's great. You've got all these things, but pick what now? What's most important now? Do you want to work on and manifest that you're passionate about? Do that. Do that thing. It's not a crisis. It's a good sign. You've just got a lot of competing priorities going around, either with yourself or with others, and what you or yourself want to do. If that makes sense. There you go, Mr. Mystic Salann.
Thank you. Running in the shadows.
Running! Woo-hoo. Ooh, I kind of like this. We should do a speed tarot this one time. This is fun. How fast can you connect and do them? I like it. Does that make sense, or is that counterintuitive or productive?
We already do it pretty fast. I don't think my spirit guide is going to let me go any faster.
Who do we connect to? Running!
Yes, run in the shadows. Full speed in the shadows. The sun. That is a pretty sun card.
Oh, yeah.
So run in the shadows. If the sun shows up, this is an unbelievably bright things going on for you. It's really interesting. The sun is one of the most positive cards in the deck. It brings out all the things that are bright, that are good, that are positive. So things must be going in a pretty good manner for you. Keep them going that way, and things are kind of in the foreseeable future going to continue to be go forward, action, move, positive, energy forward. So your current status of things that are going on in your life are probably, hopefully, pretty positive, because that's what the sun is saying. Like, keep it positive, keep it moving. And you're in a good spot, and you're going to continue to be in a good spot for a little while.
All right. I pull Knight of Pentacles. So this week, keep an eye out for something new, a new project. Don't dismiss it like you know. It's probably something that you would normally dismiss, not be interested in, etc. But take the time to consider it, to learn about it. It won't present this massive abundance or anything, but it will lead to success in another area. So when that new opportunity comes up this week, take a chance. Mine was finally doing the learn to play some chords on the piano, for example, and it's helped me to better concentrate and focus on my work and personal goals. And so that's been good. So if something new, a new project or idea comes up this week, don't disregard it. Think on it, consider it, in little steps, commit a little bit of time to it, because overall it'll probably make you very happy or be beneficial in the long run. Hope that makes sense. There you go. Your friend. Side quest. Ooh, I like that side quest.
Yeah.
All right, now we are on.
I like side quests.
Is it Tabby?
Tabby. Yes.
Sunny here. All right.
The moon. That is a scary moon.
That's a scary moon, but like,
but
wow, but very pretty all the less.
What is interesting about this moon is being visualized through a broken mirror, which still fits the moon's thing of contrast and this kind of how I'm working through my motherly process and my things that I have to do that require that motherly instinct. So looking at this moon, you're in a different perspective time. I always talk about in traditional moon tarot that we're looking at contrasting things. So when the moon is shining or reflecting its light, I should say, it's all about that reflection, and it illuminates things differently. Even though the sun is super bright in the day, you'll see things a certain way. In the night, by full moonlight or no moonlight, you'll see 2 or 3 different things because of how it's illuminated and contrasted differently. So in here, you see this reflection that has many facets. It's not a broken mirror as a problem. It's not a sign of bad luck. It's a reminder that when you have a broken mirror, each little piece of that broken mirror has a new perspective that you can consider. So consider those new perspectives that are kind of around you, and maybe you'll learn something new and different that you weren't expecting.
All right. Another pentacle, Miss Tabby. I pulled the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. You're working on something and you're maybe a little bit deep into it. It's time to put, continue that work, to push it through and wrap it up. It's gone through phases. It has been a focus. It's time just to wrap that project up in the next week or 2. It's time. You got it. You know it. You know where it needs to go. It's very close to manifesting, but you just gotta wrap it up with that queen energy. Get her done. All right. Oops, I moved this rock. I hate when I do that. I mean, I shouldn't say hate's a negative word. I wish I wouldn't do that, so. Ah, Lady Joy.
Lady Joy.
Sister Joy. All right. You're welcome. Meow, meow.
You're welcome, meow, meow.
She put meow, meow. I love that.
All right. Joy, your first card.
I can't see it all the way, but that
6
looks
of
cool.
Wands. Ve Victus.
Well, that's a pretty card.
6 of Wands is a victory card. Just like it says, Ve Victus. It's a victory card. So this is really about that positive movement into like things are going really well. I am victorious about something that's in the life right now, and I am victorious about the processes that are upcoming and the new things that are happening. I like the 6 of Wands a lot because it's in the midst of that middle, middle of a cycle of things. It's a reminder of there's a lot more to go, but this is going to be enjoyable and things are going to be fun, and I'm going to really grow, I being you, really grow in some of these things. This Victus card really, in traditional, you see there's usually wreaths and there's all about victorious and being able to take your victory lap. And so this is talking about take that victory lap of all the things that you've done and be ready to ride into that next thing that's going to be coming your way. So that's pretty hot on.
All right, and I drew 2 of Pentacles. So either you're working on something or about to. That's going to involve the input of a partner, of another person. Pay attention to that input, and you'll know without knowing if it's good or bad advice. But the important part is you need that partnership and backup on a certain project. It'll require someone else to move on to the next part of this work.
Mm-hmm.
Hope that will make sense coming up. That's a really pretty Ve Victus card. Is that how you say it?
Yes. Maeve is next.
Oh, Maeve. Did he say if we're saying it correctly or incorrectly?
He did not.
All right. So we'll continue to call him Maeve until he says side quest. I like that side quest. It does this one. All right. Maeve. We were talking about Maeve briefly yesterday.
We were.
Like, in a good way.
Yeah.
Just like geographically.
Yeah.
Like something came up about where you are
Moving to Canada.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to dox them on the
Well, you don't dox him by saying the country they're from. I didn't give his address, his first, last name, and his date of birth. Crazy.
but just in like geography wise.
Stupid.
So we send out to you and connect you. What does May need to know?
Well, I'm connecting to, I know his real name too, so I can connect to that.
Well, I'll connect to you since you know it, and in turn connect to him with his real name. All right.
Page of Swords. Ah, that's a really good one. The Page of Swords is about getting things in order and getting ready to kind of work through something that you've been thinking about and you've been trying to work on, and it's something you wanted to do and you're kind of maybe started it, but it's not working out for you for some reason, or you're getting ready to start something and it's not going to work out if you don't use your Page of Swords to start organizing things and start putting things together and start putting things in the right place of where they need to go. The Page of Swords is really good about wanting to sign up for classes and knowledge and growing things, but doesn't necessarily know how to always go about doing it, so often makes missteps. So this page, again, represents the person in your life or yourself, as all the court cards do for me. And then with you throwing that swords in there, he's like, look, we got to do this thing, but we got to get it together. I'm not exactly sure how to do it, but we're going to try it. So just think twice when you're planning. Measure twice, cut once kind of thing is what this page is telling you at the moment.
All right, and I drew Ace of Swords, so, you know, that new idea, it's go. It's time to move forward. You got to take the first step. You got to initiate it if you want your idea to manifest. So this Ace of Swords, the yes card for me, it's a movement card, and it's time to, you know, you've done some thinking, it's time to go. To move forward, it would be a good idea.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yeah, I hope that
I don't think
helps.
I've ever done tarot this fast.
Woo, I know, right? It's kind of like adrenaline rush.
More stabby, taking this. Yes. I absolutely would agree with that. Be more stabby. You know, the Ace of Swords, well, all the swords to me, I always like to use the visualization of every sword can do two things depending on how you hold it, how you wield it. It can cut to kill, or it can cut excess off so that things can flourish. Like you can be pruning to grow with a sword. You can cut food to eat with a sword. You can stab somebody to harm them with a sword. You can cut things out of your life with the imagery of swords. So always think about that for me, or at least that's what I always do when I think about swords, is they're always two-toned, two pieces. And what matters is how you interpret it and how you actually make the action. Prune that shit. Yes, sir. All right, her own witch.
What does she need to know?
Be more steady.
Chop, chop.
Chop, chop. We'll be kavaing later running, just for the record. For shorter time, though, than normal. I would say 3:30ish to 4:30, probably.
Yeah.
3:30 to 5, maybe even, but not much longer than that.
Because we got a lot of laundry to do yet.
We do.
And I got some ironing to do once
And
we
I
get
gotta
back
pack,
tonight.
and I gotta update my computer, and
You got to pack your
oh, I gotta
bags.
refocus. Sorry, her own witch.
Ooh.
Guess you're going first this time.
Yes.
Ooh,
Did you get one?
I did.
All right. I don't know a lot of what's going on. I know a little bit, but again, the Queen of Pentacles is showing up saying, hey, you know, in an area you're well versed in, something you're doing, something that you have a lot of knowledge in, a project, it's coming to fruition. You know, the end result and the success of this project is very near. So you're just on the right path and doing what you're knowledgeable on, and it's going to be successful. Just maintain and put that out there.
Do you know what I always picture the Queen of Pentacles as?
What?
The quintessential homeroom mom from the late 90s. Bakes cookies for the homeroom class, knows all the kids in the class, is doing all the things in the class, holding all the things together, goes to the PTA, doing all the things. Because the Queen is a multitasker. In all of them, the Queen is a multitasker. But in the Pentacles, the multitasker of all the things that we have to do to make things work. So, my card was the Lovers.
Ooh, the Lovers.
So the Lovers is often coming up in many cases when it's not necessarily about romantic love, but it could be. And it represents that needing of commitment and moving towards something. So this is kind of focusing on and being with the people who you love and who you care for, and developing those relationships even more, and kind of put up and move stuff forward and do things better from that perspective. She's very very ready to move. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. A homeroom mom, yes. The game of sovereignty. But yes, homeroom mom. I couldn't think of a better thing on the top of my head.
Oh.
For that.
Sir. I shan't give you my Morgan Greer.
I wonder sometimes, though, if the
some
lovers in those cases, her and Witch is really about, like, when you are doing all of those multitasking things, having it supported by the people that you love in your life, because that kind of makes things a little bit easier. So kind of maybe things are a little too segregated, maybe, and bringing some family in or something would be helpful to it if that's a consideration.
And James, I think his question was regarding, can he trust his pendulum?
Yes.
Is that correct? Yeah.
And I will use my pendulum that I have right here, as a matter of fact.
That's a very good question.
On top of
James Bowen. Let me connect to him.
James, hopefully you're still in the chat.
Can you trust your pendulum? Let's see. Can you trust your pendulum? I remembered what his question was because it needed to be answered. So, all right.
You've got Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands, most of the fours, including this one, are very stable, structured cards. I think of four walls. I think of four corners. Corners are very, you have three corners. You have a triangle and a house. That's probably not as strong because wind will hit one side and knock it over, right? You have four corners. You have a little bit more stability. Very strong cube thinking, right? So in my perspective, if somebody's asking me a yes/no question, then the Four of Wands is going to be a resounding yes, because it is a resounding stability card. It means things are stable, things are good, things are positive, and they're going to work the way they need to work. Now, I am going to use my pendulum here for a minute while he reads.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. Okay. I drew the Three of Pentacles, and yes, it's telling me, yes, you can trust your pendulum, but with other things, like in a group, don't trust it solely. Consider other things along with your intuition, tarot if you do that. Another source of divination, just to confirm. But yes, overall, you can trust your pendulum, because it's connected to you and giving you the answers that your subconscious knows.
Feels like you don't want it to tell you the truth. Like there's something you've asked it that you wish was a no, but it said yes, and you're like, yeah, I don't want it to say yes. Because mine is absolutely clear yes. So yes, you should trust it. Just be careful what you ask.
Yeah.
Self-fulfilling prophecies do happen. That was a fun one. Thank you. I haven't used my pendulum in a long time.
That was fun. That was awesome.
I hope you guys like the Corrupted Tarot too. This is the second time I've actually used it. So
I'd like to do readings with a pendulum too. Like that'd be cool.
Yeah. We should. I have tons. I have like 10 different pendulums.
Do we have a little board?
We have a bunch, including one that I have, a pendulum that Joy actually made for me, and the circle, the readout that she made for me as well. I've used it quite a few times recently.
Well, I'm very thankful for everybody coming by.
You're welcome.
This community is a lot like family in the way we're connected, and I appreciate you all coming by to spend time with us.
Yeah.
Ooh, a new deck. Sweet. Ooh.
Ooh.
Do you know have you seen there's a Kickstarter, and I'm wondering if you'd be interested, an Oracle deck for Damien Eccles and other people?
I would absolutely
Not
be interested.
him as creating it, but the person that's creating it is somehow incorporating Damien Eccles into the
I would
Oracle
absolutely
deck.
be interested in that. I love Damien. If you haven't read Damien Eccles' books, they're pretty good.
I need to.
Easy to understand, pretty nice, and I really like his. I hate his story, but I was very obsessed with the West
Yeah.
Memphis Three for a long time, and that's where I learned about him and all the stuff that he went through. And he does YouTube. He's on there. He's really had an opportunity to go the wrong way, and he didn't. So
God, if
very
anybody
interesting
could.
story. Yeah, if anybody had a reason to, it was him.
For sure.
Love to see that. Heroin Witch. I'm excited.
Authentic. Ooh.
Yeah, process of making your own deck. That is awesome.
That's awesome. Run him.
Rook and I have been talking about not making our own deck, but getting a lot of general pictures of nature and making an actual photographic deck of nature. We talked about that last night, but he kind of ignored me. So, oh, the Sherwood is freaking awesome too. I meant to get that back out and play around with it this weekend, but I forgot it. I want to use it with the Druid Craft Tarot together, like as a back and forth, or even Nature Speaks. So, but that is awesome running.
That is really cool.
Congratulations, Malaysia.
Working cards. That's awesome.
All right, so we're going to switch over to Rook's favorite part as soon as we can get caught up here.
Yeah, and we need to update it.
We do need to update it, but...
Ooh, a friend deck with everybody, friends adding cards. That's cool.
Ooh,
Sweet.
that is very cool.
A lot of good energy.
You know,
different energy.
Before we get into this one of the things that I've always wanted to do is I want to get all of people's decks that are missing cards that they don't want to use before they, like, don't throw them away, because I know some people get rid of them. If you have extra cards laying around that you don't know where they belong, I want to make a patchwork deck. We called it the Patchwork Pagans. It's part of that group that we were kind of running, where it's just a patchworked deck. So that would be too cool.
That would be awesome.
But yeah, that is cool. I'd be interested to see it. All right, Rook's going to do his thing.
Well, again, thank you all for spending time with us today. We really appreciate it. Appreciate the conversation, the connection, the community. And when you're on and about in the interwebs, please check out all these awesome creators, witches, and wonderfuls. Paranormal Witch on YouTube and Lady Rose 819 on Instagram. Follow her on Instagram. She puts out about a weekly blog on different topics: paranormal, witchy, history. They're very good, easy to understand, easy to read and connect to and digest. Unexplained Possibilities on YouTube and Instagram. You never know what unexplained is going to pop up and manifest next. It is awesome between books, tarot decks, and the tarot deck I use a lot and have connected to it. So check him out and follow the notifications for him so you know when he is going live. Ziggy Dreadful on Twitch. She plays a lot of games, a lot of fun, very interactive with the chat on Twitch, and will probably convince you to play a game with her. It's a good time, great time. Addie Estate on YouTube and most social media, who along with this guy sitting next to me does a Friday night podcast, Apocrypha, at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Check it out. I think some of you do. And content coming soon from Mystic Manny.
We have to change Mystic Manny. His content is now being produced.
Okay, so can we share it?
Yeah, Mystic Manny YouTube.
Oh, it is Mystic Manny's YouTube. Okay,
Yes.
It is the YouTube channel. Follow it, like it, ding it, click it, get notifications. Dragon Dancer is manifesting a whole bunch of stuff, so
Yes.
we could have her on and just interview her, and that would be like freaking amazing.
We need to do that for sure.
She definitely puts
Especially fungus the fungus stuff. We're going to do that.
spiritual and magical into practice, and she manifests things. And we are Two Pondering Pagans on YouTube and Facebook. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for letting us pull some cards for you all. I hope you all have a great week. Stay safe. Keep your mind clear. Be good to yourself most of all, and kind to yourself, and take care of yourself.
And from the north, Wittersons to the east, undoing the circle that was, may it be open but never unbroken.
Yep. Thanks. See ya.